Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the queen of joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Hello, everybody, and happy Monday to you. It is Monday, September 19th, 2022. I'm feeling calm this morning and feeling good for it being a Monday morning, putting all the good vibes out there. I know there's a lot of people that have exciting things happening this week, and I want to put that calm, it shall be energy out there. Sometimes we get to anticipate things in our lives and we get riled up. And sometimes that can disrupt the energy a little bit. So I want to put the good, calm vibes out there that things are what they shall be, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm super excited today because we have an amazing guest coming up, Erica Lasan, and she's incredible. She is like my joy sister. We were reunited. I'm gonna say we were reunited. We were introduced by the fabulous, and love him well here, Scott Mason. And I say reunited because when we connected and we had a beautiful conversation, and it was like we had been living in joy all this time and always knew each other. And I'm so moved by the work that she's doing in the world, and it's so necessary. She really helps people get in touch with joy in the corporate world, which we're going to talk a little bit about. And I also know that her faith is important to her as well. And so I titled the episode, "I've Got That Joy, Joy, Joy," because some of you that were church kids growing up know that song and know it well. So we're gonna talk about a lot of different things coming up, and I'm excited about that. How was your weekend? Let me know if you're joining us live how your weekend was, if you did anything exciting. My friend Jocelyn came down for the day yesterday, and we went to I do my Sunday thing. I go to the cemetery to visit my brother, and then we tried to go to the garlic festival. There was a garlic festival at Mystic Village in Connecticut, and there were so many people. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about me and people. I love people, but I also, I am so sensitive to others' energies. Look, I can do all of the protecting myself and all of that, but I am who I am. Okay. So I'm so sensitive to other energies. And when people are packed like sardines in one space, it's challenging for me. So it was a lot for me. We didn't last there very long. But I am excited because I got to try black garlic and I brought some home. So I have been on this kick of making like different things from scratch. I'm going to make some focaccia bread, and I'm going to put the black garlic, and I'm excited about that. The black garlic is delicious, you guys. If you have not had it, if you take like a regular garlic clove and eat it, it's kind of crunchy and it can be really pungent and really strong. This is like a sweet, tangy, soft. I don't know. It's a different experience. And so I was here for the garlic. I learned I wasn't a vampire yesterday because I just ate the garlic right from the sample tray. So I was excited about that. And then I had the opportunity to try that garlic and bring some home before we had to leave the area. Also went into this little store over there. I had seen my friend Danielle post about it. And I wanted to go check it out. I think it's called Cloak and Wand, something like that. Anyway, it is like a store for fantasy lovers. And it was really cool because there's like a Harry Potter section and a Lord of the Rings section, and there's a section for people that play D&D, and there's like dragons, and they had on the wall I wish the video that I took, you could see it better because I would show it to you on here, but it had the pictures like the ones that are in Harry Potter where the people are moving. It's like the old timey pictures. And like all of a sudden you see their eyes look a different direction or their cloak will kind of flutter in the breeze. It was the coolest store. But again, so packed in there. Like I literally walked in and walked back out. I saw little bits and bobs of things that I thought were really cool looking, and I was out. It was a lot going on in there. Plus, all of those stores are really, really old, so they kind of have like a musty, this village has been here for a long ass time kind of smell. So I just didn't last very long. So, but we had fun and did that, and then we grilled and ate food and stuff outside, and it was a lot of fun. So that was my day yesterday. I want to check in and see who's joining us this morning, and then I'm going to tell you about some national days today because there aren't many today, but I want to talk about it. Brittany, of course, is here and was front row. Good morning, Brittany. It's good to see you. Happy Monday. Miss Mandy is here. Grand Monday to you. Yes, down in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? We'll get into that later. We're going to church this morning. Good to see you guys here today. Yeah, I don't like the claustrophobia happening. It's too much peopling was happening yesterday. Yes, Harry Potter is my jam. And they have a section. I didn't take a picture of this, but they have a section with all the wands, and you allow the wand to choose you. Like you, I got to go back in there when there's not so many people happening. I see Mike McDonald down below. How are you? And listen, Mike, I have been here over 2 months now and have not seen you. What's up with that? What's up with that? I'm disappointed and saddened, and we need to figure this out. Good morning, Mona. It's good to see you today. Always good to see you and hear from you. And thank you for touching base recently. I love to be able to reconnect with people. It means a lot to me. Yes, you got to get there, and the one chooses you, Mandy, as you know. So I know, well, busy lives, we all have busy lives, but it's like priorities, but it's good. It's good. So I want to talk to you about national days today because there's only 2 on the list. The first one is that it's National Butterscotch Pudding Day. I love pudding. Okay. I love all pudding. I don't care what flavor it is. I love the pudding. But National Butterscotch Pudding Day offers a sweet taste of wholesome and creamy dessert. Brown sugar and butter star in the recipes for butterscotch pudding. However, corn syrup, vanilla, and salt are also sometimes used. There's no reason to put corn syrup in pudding. I'm just saying we've made pudding so many times that there's no need for that. But butterscotch pudding is amazing, and like I said, I don't discriminate. I love all the puddings, but let me know if you have a favorite flavor of pudding. It is also National Talk Like a Pirate Day. I thought about starting this show talking like a pirate, and then I was like, I overthink this way too much, like I do. But you can say ahoy, avast, and aye, aye, Captain. I'm going to request today that my children respond to me with every request with aye, aye, Captain. I'm just gonna put that out there. And when when I woke up this morning, could you imagine just waking up and being like, land ho, when your feet hit the floor? This is where my mind is going today, you guys. It's all over the place, and that's fine. But it's Talk Like a Pirate Day and National Butterscotch Pudding Day. So that's what's happening. That's it. That's all that's going on. It makes me wonder if pirates ate pudding. Because we have to put those things together. Yes, big hugs. Big hugs. Good to see you. And good to see you, Rhonda, this morning. You guys had a great show yesterday. I've got to go back and watch the rest of it. It's always a good show on Spirit Sessions, though. You guys got to make sure you check that out. They simulcast here on the Breakthrough Show Network Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. What else is going on? Yeah, my mind's like that every day. I'm literally going from pudding to pirates in half a second. And there's joy in that for sure. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, you guys, and be right back with our special guest. And I'm so excited for you to meet my long lost sister in Joy, and I can't wait for us to have a conversation with you here this morning. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back after this. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing. Healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. Today is Monday, September 19th, 2022. I'm excited about our special guest today. And to bring her on, I have to show you guys something really quick here, because right before she and I had our conversation that we had a little while back, I saw this video on her page and I was like, what is this? This is the best thing on the planet right here. So I want to share it with you really quickly, because this is the beginning part, because it's so good. Here we go.
Chick, you doing a good job. Chick, you doing a good job. You see these kids, you're doing a good job. You see your work, you're doing a good job. You living in purpose, you're doing a good job. You finding your joy, you're doing a good job. Chick, you doing a good job. Chick, you doing a good job. Chick, you doing a good job. Let me tell you why.
I love it. I love it. And I'm sure she's going to tell us why we're doing a good job today. And I'm really excited to welcome her on the show. Without further ado, let's meet up with and have a conversation with Erica Lasan. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Project Joy Live fam. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here.
I love it. I'm so excited to finally have you on. We were both, when we first had a chat, we were both kind of like in this transition space for a moment. And so it was nice to not be alone in that. I'll tell you that much. That can be a transitions can be a time when you're like, where's the joy? Where is it?
Yeah,
Let's figure that out.
is so true.
Well, tell everybody where you're joining us from this morning, Erica, and what's something that's bringing you joy today.
Okay, so I'm joining you all from New Jersey. Woo woo. I'm not originally from Jersey. I'm from Baltimore, but this is where I live right now. And something that's bringing me joy today is just the fact that, like, I woke up this morning, real talk. Like, recently, there have been some thoughts that have been coming to mind, and it's like, really, every day is the blessing. Like, I came off of a weekend of seeing my family down in Maryland. My cousin got married and I got to see extended relatives. So that means the kids got to see extended relatives from that are typically in Nigeria sometimes. And there were like wonderful conversations had with my cousins, and it was just a really great weekend. Like one of those weekends that makes you feel like really alive and just grateful.
Yeah, I love that. Do you find that you're a nostalgic person? Because when I meet up with like family that I haven't seen in a long time, or old friends or things like that, it completely, like, I'm just transported.
Yeah, it's like, and I find that, like, especially as my parents are getting older, it's always like bringing things back. Remember that time when, or oh, and my mom will look at my kids
Yeah.
and be like, they are just taking me down memory lane. Oh, memory lane. And then like she's like reminiscing, then we're reminiscing, then everybody's reminiscing. So definitely, yes. And I also am one of those people, I don't know if you're like me, and I don't know, we're like kind of here, so I can
Yeah.
already feel it. I'm like a memory hoarder. So like
Yes.
so like I capture pictures all the time, and there are moments where I'll find myself just like scrolling through, like not posting them, but just like
Uh-huh.
scrolling through my phone, like thinking back to the time when something amazing happened and like the feeling that I had in that
Right.
moment.
Right. Yeah. I'm like that. I'm like that too. And you can like smell
Yeah.
the picture and you can taste it and you can like and I'm like, I'll bring up a picture and then I'll try to share it with someone who's not like that. And they'll be like, I mean, I kind of remember that. And I'm like, oh, but listen, the cinnamon and and they're like, okay, yeah, I've had enough.
Yes. I'm like one of those people that like I don't want to bore you with the details, but like
Yeah.
I want you to feel it with me. Like just
Yes.
come into this experience with me.
Yes.
And my husband's not one of those people. He's just like, okay, I get it. You had a good time. No, but it wasn't just that I had a good time. Like,
Yeah.
felt a good time.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's beautiful when we can find each other to be like that with, because my husband's not that way either. He's like, is there a point to the story somewhere? Is the point is the feeling, sir.
Don't you just feel good? And they're like, I was feeling great before this conversation. Now I'm feeling great.
Now I'm not so sure. Thanks. That's what it is. So I'm excited to have you on today because when we were talking initially, like your whole journey, very similar to mine, has been about kind of finding that joy within ourselves and what does joy look like to us and all of that. And what you're doing now of bringing joy into the corporate world, I think is so important because one, I think there's so many people that are not joyous in their job. And two, I think even if people are happy and joyous in their job, it can be a situation where they don't feel like they can connect with that joy at their so they're home and they're joyful, and then they walk out the door and suddenly like the energy changes.
Yeah.
And so talk to us a little bit about like how you got into that, the work of joy being your job, or and what you teach.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for asking, because
Yeah.
it has been a journey.
Yeah.
Like I was not always, I don't want to say I wasn't always this person, because I think I have always had like a generally happy demeanor.
Mhm.
But happiness is different from joy. Let's just like
Right.
say that right
Yes.
there. And I could definitely go in on that. But I used to be a really creative person. Like as a
Mm.
child, I was like always singing and dancing and like doing things with my hands. And I started a jewelry line when I was 13, and I did that for a while. It was an accidental hobby. But then when it came time for me to graduate and go to high school, I like put all of my creative self away in pursuit of this degree, and making my parents very proud, which I did in 4 years. I went in, I did the stuff that I thought I was going to do. I majored in international business and Spanish, but then I graduated during the recession. And
Mm.
let me tell you, a recession when you are a new graduate will just strip you of your joy real quick. Okay. I thought I had all of the plans planned and I was doing all the stuff, but I found myself in an unexpected depressive state. Like I was crying a lot, like every
Mm.
day, multiple points throughout the day, just crying all day. And it was at that point that I didn't even recognize it as a problem. I just thought that something was wrong with me. Like, and
Mm.
because of the fact that I was looking for a job and no one was hiring me. And I was like, I know I'm qualified for this. I'm so good. If only
Right.
they would give me a chance. And then it became a question of self-worth and value, and placing all of my value and identity capital in somebody else's ability to like see value in me. So one of the times that I was calling my then husband, but now my boyfriend, or then boyfriend, now my husband.
Mm.
I called him because I would make a practice of it to walk around and cry during my lunch session and just like complain to him about how
Yeah.
horrible I felt. He was like, well, what do you want to do, Erica? And I was like, I want to do everything. I want to do this and this and this and this. And I just want to be around people that inspire me. And I don't want to like feel like I have to have cooler conversations. And at one point he was just like, okay, well, just start somewhere. Just do something. And I was like, wow, what a concept,
Yeah. Yeah.
that looked like. And that really took me down this journey of rediscovering what joy meant for me in that season of my
Right.
life. I was 23, and it caused me to quit my job. It caused me
Mm.
to take a job in retail after getting my college degree in New York City. But that process and that choice, right? Because joy is a choice. You can choose to live in a way that brings faith and then inspires you and like helps you be your best self, or you can choose to be bound by fear. At that point, I was so far in the fear lane and it just wasn't working for me that I was like, I'll try anything different. I don't even care. Like I'm ready to risk it all for
Yeah.
just to feel better. And it took me down this career trajectory that was like not even what I planned. Like it took me into editorial publishing. It took me to working with magazines for New York Fashion Week. It took me into a new career of being an on-air host in video production and working in television production.
Yeah.
And then even getting back into the jewelry. So many of these things that made me feel alive again. And
Mm.
then when I became a mom, which happened unexpectedly after 7 years of building up this on-air hosting career, there was a really great opportunity to work with NBC, Universal, and I thought, this is it. It's going to be my big break. I'm going to be on televisions across the country and the world. And right after that experience, a week later, I found out I was pregnant, and it was just like, God, you have a sense of humor. Like I was like, what is happening right now? And then the same thing happened where for 16 months, I played the good wife, good mom role,
Yeah.
and did what I was supposed to do. But I
Mm.
felt like I was slowly dying inside.
Yeah.
And there was the added guilt of feeling like, well, I shouldn't be complaining because I have this new blessing.
Right.
And so through that process, it really just caused people to me to reevaluate what my purpose was, right? If
Mm.
my whole purpose is meant to be to care for these people, what's left for me? And God be the glory, he took me down this process of rediscovering joy yet again. And it's now a process that I call the Joy Quest. But it really led me to understand that it wasn't even about the stuff that I was doing in and of itself. It wasn't about the passions that I was pursuing, because at the time then I started a blog and then I started doing video stuff for other people. And at some point I would get bored, but it always came back to people for me and understanding like,
Mm.
how can I help someone find their best creative self, and what is possible when you do feel fulfilled and aligned in your purpose and all those things, which led me to create a couple of programs that are now a part of the Journey to Purpose. It's a long
Yeah.
story, but
Yeah. No, it's so good though, because you talked about it being a journey. You talked about it being a choice. And I think you also mentioned about what joy looked like at different times. And I think that's part of the thing, is that it really does change throughout our lives and throughout the circumstances that happen. And maybe sometimes it's easier for us in those moments to connect with that joy. And other times it's on reflection. It's looking back and going, there was joy there. I just was having a hard time seeing it.
yes. And that's the thing. There's always joy to be had. Like I had a conversation even this weekend, and it comes up a lot with even my clients, where it's like joy is a luxury for me right now. And it's like,
Mm.
okay, joy may be a luxury for you right now, but it's actually not a luxury. It's a birthright. Like
Right.
we are all born, like joy is actually supposed to be the default. When we get so distracted by the situations and circumstances of life, that's when it then becomes the luxury. And I understand that if it feels like the luxury in this moment, there's a process, right, to help you connect with it, but also understand that once you understand that process, you get to have it all the time, right?
Mm.
Like you have to arrive there right now because you're so stuck in the muck and the mire. But once you have it, you get to carry it with you everywhere you go and in
Right.
every moment, even the hard times. It's not
Right.
about arriving at joy. Joy isn't like the cherry on top of the cake.
Right.
It's really what it's supposed to be every day if we are presently aligned in our mission and our purpose.
Mhm.
And if we're really prioritizing the things that actually matter, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that because I think um it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge when we're working with people who say things like that, where like, and because it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad because one, because I've been there. Where and I've got that empathy of going like, look, I've completely been in that space where like I could not see the joy, I could not feel it, it felt like a luxury. It's, and I think when we get to that place where we realize it can be as simple as just choosing, that it doesn't have to be because someone else says we're not supposed to be joyful in this time and this is not what joy looks like, and all of these conditions
Yeah.
that we put on joy. When we realize that, and we're just like, how could you not, like, you just want to like scream it.
It makes us seem like we're crazy.
Yeah,
Like literally,
right.
like somebody's like,
Absolutely.
listen to yourself. If you were to hear yourself and see yourself like taking out this content, but I'm like, you can't take out this context. And
Yeah.
it's like once you've arrived there and what you know what it's like, it's you can't unknow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you may it, and it's not to say, because I know toxic positivity is a thing right now, and that is real.
Yeah.
It's real. But I think that someone understanding the possibility of what a joy-led life looks like and trying to lead someone to that understanding, I don't think that's toxic if you are also acknowledging that life is hard. And
Right.
life is hard. It
Right.
has its very hard moments. It has its moments of grief. It has its moments of, feeling lost or chaotic. Like, and those things are real. We acknowledge those feelings. We feel those feelings, but we also understand that our lives don't have to be determined by those feelings. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like you
yeah.
get to feel them, you get to embrace them, and then you get to transmute them in some way through the
Right.
joy, you know? Um,
Right.
and understanding that that's even a possibility is the gift.
Right, right. I think one of the things that's really helped me in recent years has just been asking questions. So if I feel like I can't see the joy in any given moment, like I ask myself, and I was talking about this on the show recently, what would be the harm if I called this joy? What would be so wrong if I chose to be joyful right now? Like, who would, and a lot of times it comes back to just like the people pleaser nature, or like just trying to fulfill an expectation of what something is supposed to look like. And one of the examples that I've given before is when my brother passed away, it snowed. And my kids, my youngest ones at the time, had never like seen and played in snow. And so we're at the funeral, and it's supposed to be this somber, like, everybody's sad experience. And they're like laughing and playing in the snow. And it was just this moment of, it's what you make it to be. And it doesn't have to be. It's not to say that there wasn't sadness that day. It was not to say that I didn't completely miss the very human connection that I had with my brother. But it was so beautiful to see like this joy happening and the snow and all of this stuff, that it doesn't have to look like, just because somebody said, oh, somebody dies and you're supposed to wear black and you're supposed to be sad and you're supposed to all of these things. It doesn't have to look like that unless you make it that way.
Yes. And I think it also, when I think of it and how you're explaining it, sometimes I think of like, well, how do I want to look back on this moment?
Right.
Like in the hard times, when I think about like really hard times that I've experienced, sometimes I think, well, how do I want to look back on it? And also, like, I love that you talked about asking questions, because then
Mhm.
I also do the same thing. Well, why do I feel
Yeah.
this way? But why do I actually feel this way? Okay,
Mhm.
well, let me ask myself again, like, is it actually this, or could it be that?
Mm.
And most of the time, what I find is it's not the thing. And even with the same work I do with my clients, it's the thing is symptomatic of something else that is deep rooted. So then when you
Right.
get to the root of what the thing is, then you can attack that thing with the joy, counter it with joy, you know? And I love that you spoke of like finding the beautiful moments in it, because the beautiful moments are always there. I think that sometimes as humans we can like complicate them. We want them to be so complex. Like the joy has to be complex. It has to cost $1 million. It has
Yeah.
to be like through struggle that I've arrived here. Or it could just be you going outside and taking your shoes off and rubbing your toes in the grass.
Yeah.
Like, bring yourself present. You just have to understand yourself. And sometimes that in and of itself is the journey, you know?
Yes, yes. Like just the simplicity in a situation. Like I've shared about moments before where I've been sitting and sobbing, and there's joy in that, in being able to express the emotion that you want to express. There's joy in that. And they're like, how could you be joyful if you're sad? Because you can. All of our emotions coexist together. We complicate everything as humans. And I just said to somebody literally this morning, I love humans so hard. And at the same time, I really can't stand us as a species.
It's true. We just be bringing all our stuff where it's like, if we would just trust and like really find our way back home. Like
Yeah.
finding our way back to the basics. I think we want more, we want to do more, we want to be more, but it's like, really, isn't who you are good enough? Like really, I like as we are, if we were to really accept that, right, it would be good enough. And I mean, not to bring the spiritual element into it, but like as we are good enough. Like I think that it's just sometimes we just want to do more and be more, but it really has nothing to do with us, but about pleasing and like trying to reflect what we think everyone else wants us to be and how they want
Right.
us to be around us. But then they're literally doing the same thing. So what are we doing? Actually, if we were to all just accept ourselves, I think everyone would be a lot happier.
Yeah. I had a collapse in my chair moment when you said that, because the last since Saturday, so like this is J3 of this word brokenness has kept coming into my consciousness all the time right now. And because I just, especially those of us who are committed to being, on a personal or spiritual development journey forward, like we're trying to improve ourselves, improve the world, make a world a better place. It can be challenging to come at that from the aspect of we're not broken. We are choosing to move forward in whatever way that looks like. And I think so many people come at even understanding joy from a space of brokenness, from feeling like something's wrong with them, or it needs to be fixed, or we have to make something over, or and that's not the case. And so I love what you're saying, like we truly are whole as we are now. If we choose to see something else or want to add something to our lives, and then it's an addition. It's not you're not fixing it. Like there's nothing wrong with you as you are.
Yeah. But I love Jessica's
Here we go.
here it is. It's happening right now. The brokenness element though, because I think so often people look at the brokenness as a bad thing, but it's actually brokenness that allows you to get to the healing. Like when I tell you the moments of like immense brokenness, because then that's the point at which you surrender. That's the point where you surrender. You give it up because you realize that you can't. And it's actually in the trying hard that I think a lot of people rob themselves of the joy, because you're doing too much. You're trying too hard. You're not actually being who you are and who you've been designed to be. You're acting basically. And that's just not sustainable. You get tired, you get burnt out. It produces stress and overwhelm because again, it is not in your innate being. But the moment you find your way back to being like actually who you are, the energy that you would have been expending to do all of the other things, to please all the other people and make show, that is now brought back into yourself so that you can do the work that's required to help you get to the next level. But it takes it's like it takes the brokenness to acknowledge I can't do it. Then you relax, and in the relaxing, then you seek like the true source, right? And then that source speaks to you in a way, and you have all of your energy and all of your attention so that you can focus all of your intentions in the actual mission, which is your
Right.
self purpose.
Yeah.
It's actually through that that you're able to make it to the next level. So it's like, I feel like we get it so backwards sometimes, where it's like we feel like I have to expend, 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 when it's really like, no, like be still, like literally
Right.
be still so that you can come at this from a sense of inner peace, because that's
Mhm.
actually what produces your ability to help other people, but in a way that doesn't feel draining. You know,
Right.
it comes from an act of true service. And like when you're aligning your service with your joy, then it doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel like a chore, which kind of even bringing it back to work,
Yeah.
like if you're aligned with your purpose, if your purpose is in your joy, then you show up excited to work every day. You show up
Mhm.
like wanting to help your coworkers. You show up having actual conversations that aren't surface level, but you're the contribution that you're making is one that you're delighted to make, And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you don't leave work feeling exhausted and like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be leaving. You leave feeling fulfilled. You leave feeling like you made a difference and that you touched a life, and that it's like a high, that like
Yeah.
you get to carry with you into then your home life, asking your kids, how's your day?
Yeah.
And actually meaning it and
Yeah.
listening to the answer, right? Not just spitting
Yeah.
them out afterwards. I think it just feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can see through a lot of the stuff that we've talked about this morning how the stuff could tie into the corporate world and our in the work that we're doing in the world, because even with I think there's a lot of people, like I mentioned before, that are in jobs that they don't like. And so it can be challenging in that to feel like that sense of purpose and that sense of joy when you're there. But I think it's really goes back to that element of choice where we can choose even in a job that we don't we're trying to associate ourselves too much as the job. I think I'm kind of like seeing as the issue here. Yes.
Identity. So
Yeah.
many people place all their identity in their job. You are not your job.
Right.
Even as an entrepreneur, you may start your business like
Right.
your business is not who you are. Your business is not your being. Your business is the way you show up to serve other people through the gifts that you've been given.
Right.
If you've even chosen to start a business that's aligned with your gifts, that's a conversation for another day. Because a lot of times people chase the money and then they're tired and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, But
Yeah.
if you place your identity in something bigger than the work that you do, that's where you're really able to tap into the joy, because it comes from a unlimited place, like
Mhm.
I'll share very briefly, like even in starting this business, right? This is a culmination of things that I've been doing for the past 20 years. But I remember at one point in my entrepreneurial journey, it started to feel very heavy and hard, and this is weird coming from like the person that talks about joy. I'm telling you that it can be light, right?
Yep.
But
Yeah.
the reason why it started to feel heavy was because so much of the work that I was doing, I was becoming very self-sufficient, right? Like it was like I was idolizing myself in a really weird way, even
Yeah.
though the work isn't about me, right?
Right.
And it made it hard because all of my identity was placed in, well, if this doesn't work, then that means I'm a failure. If this isn't this, then that means I this. That's my identity. But then it was like, at one point, let me tell y'all, the Holy Spirit came from my edges and he kind of like snatched me up and was like, this isn't it. Like, you're working too hard. You
Right.
need to rest. And it's like, but if I rest, then how? If I rest, then, if I rest, then. And
Yep.
he kind of brought me back to like, no, seriously, like, do you trust me? Yeah, I trust you. Do you actually trust me? Yeah, I trust you. Then don't do this. But how am I going? Don't worry about it. And like, literally, I'm sitting here having an argument. And when I tell you in the past, like, year, the way that things have been happening have been blowing my mind. And it's crazy because it's like I get to rest. Rest is actually also a birthright. If you are
Right.
moving like in alignment, like it it's the gift that allows you to continue on the race of whatever your life's mission is. And it's given me better results than I ever had actually working hard and doing the things on my own.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it
Right.
comes from that point of brokenness and surrender as well.
Yeah, I think when we were talking initially a while back, that was I was sharing with you, and I'm still in that place right now, like of knowing that something has to change because you start to feel that dis-ease. You start to feel that like if you're starting to feel like anger and resentment and like all of these things, it's like, this is not what I created here. This is not what this is supposed to be. And so you kind of have to evaluate. But even in that, like I see so much joy of going, what an honor and a privilege to be able to shift things now and go
Try
in a
something
different
new.
direction.
Yeah. And then it becomes like play and trust all over again.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you get to decide, you get to start over, you get to, take what was working, keep on with that, and then just chuck what doesn't work. And then, you know, reframe it in some type of way. So you never feel like anything is a waste. Cause I think that
Right.
that's also something that comes up a lot where it's like, well, I spent all this time, I wasted all my time doing that. Nothing is ever
Yes.
waste. Like when you actually when you understand joy, you understand that nothing is a waste, but everything can be a lesson that
Mhm.
helps influence the choices that you make moving forward.
Yes.
And I think that is something where if you're operating by faith, right, and not by fear, because I always say it's like one of the two things. Like every decision that we make, if you really think about it, is based on one of the two. So many people are operating in the fear, which is
Right.
what leaves you feeling stuck, which leaves you feeling like you can't do this or can't do that, just bound. But faith is the thing that helps you access freedom, right?
Right.
Because it's really just full of possibilities. Just like you said, what if I were to see it this way? Like,
Right.
what could be the possibilities, you know? And then kind of like, I almost say like it's like following breadcrumbs. And
Mhm.
then as you like keep going down the path, it's like you get another joy. I call them joy gems. You get another joy gem. And then you like eat that one. It's like, this is tasty. And it's like, well, I'm gonna take two more steps. And
Yeah.
then, something else happens. And then that's really when life becomes the adventure that it was meant to be when
Yeah.
God created us.
Yeah. Speaking of joy gems, I put Erica's website down below for you guys. And she has a little quiz that you can take on her website and you find out your joy gem. I took it. Do you want to know what mine was?
Okay, so I like to make this a game. I feel like
Okay.
I want to guess. I always like to guess too, though.
Okay.
I feel like it could either be, and the thing is also it shifts. All right, no, Erica, stop it.
We're overthinking now.
Okay, you're right. I feel like it could either be experiential wisdom or something wants to tell me like product connection. Neither one.
Neither one.
Now I'm gonna go down. I knew it was probably gonna be my first guess. Okay, go ahead.
Stability.
I knew it.
You were gonna say it. You almost said it.
You heard me, right? You heard it in my head.
It.
I was like, no, I'm gonna go connected. Oh,
I loved this. I have to read you guys the definition of what it says. It says, okay, I find the first line to be rather humorous, and I'll tell you why when I'm done. But it says, you're a superstar and everyone knows it.
okay.
You're talented and have a lot of great experiences, skills, and interests to share. So people often find you fascinating, but you don't feel ready, prepared, or qualified enough to make your mark. Because of this, sometimes you have trouble tapping into the full potential of your brilliance. What you need to maximize your joy in this season and expand into the supernova that you are is guidance in building your confidence and proving to yourself what everyone already knows. You've got the juice, you just have to let it loose. So the hilarious thing about this is that first line, you're a superstar and everyone knows it. I can't tell you, and like not even in the sense of the word superstar, but like throughout my whole life, I'll do something and I'll just think it's like, this is every day for me. It's not a big deal or whatever. And somebody always comes to me and is like, I can't believe you did that. Or like, wow, that was really something. And I'm like, but I just don't like, it's just It's just the thing that I do. Like I literally just took a breath. It's not that big deal, you know? And so I found that really interesting. And it has also been that other part of like, of feeling qualified enough. That has been like such a huge, because again, when something feels so natural to you, you don't feel like you're like, it's just a thing. I'm not qualified to bring it. So I found it very accurate.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It makes me so happy. Thank you for playing with me.
Yes, absolutely. I love that though. And another, like, I'm glad honestly that you guessed other things, because some of the questions, like I found myself very torn
Mm,
between on there. And so it's funny whether I'm looking at the enneagram or the human design or astrology or any of those things. Every single thing that points out about my personality is the split, like there's half of me that's one way and the other half of me is a completely different way, and I'm not even a Gemini. So so anyway, it's just one of those things though where everything points to me in that kind of way, of where so much of me is circumstantial,
mm,
and so much of me has been this journey of discovery and being able to shift and change as the circumstances need me to do so.
yeah. And to be honest, I think that that's something that's true for everyone, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it really, because everyone has a predominant thing and then like an underlying thing. Like even this weekend, my brother was talking about something and I was like, I'm a visual learner. He was like, scientifically it proves that that's not true. I was like, you can't tell me. Like I'm a visual learner. He was like, but when you see something, how do you? It doesn't matter. Like I know the predominant thing is I need
Right.
to see it in order to process it. And I think that the same thing goes for like how we live and how we
Hmm.
are. Like we weren't designed to be one thing. Ever,
Yeah.
but I think that so often we can put ourselves in boxes. And the thing about even with this quiz is you're not, while right now your season of joy may be stability, you
Right.
can work on like the things, because in the results, there's something where you can learn how to charge your joy. So if you do those things may change. And you may
Yeah.
take this quiz again in 6 months and you may get a different joy gem type,
Right.
because life is ever fluctuating and you really have to account for the fact that life happens, right?
Mm.
And the more you acknowledge certain things, the more you work on certain things. And again, it really does come down to knowing yourself and being still with yourself and understanding yourself and seeking guidance. You know what I mean? In order to understand what's required in any given season, and recognizing that you're a whole person. That means that there's a lot of
Right.
stuff that's in the mix. You can't just
Yeah.
limit yourself to thinking like, oh, I'm just this forever, this thing.
Right.
That's not fun.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I would love for you to tell everybody what you're working on right now, how people can find you, anything that you want to share with the people. Would be fun.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone again. We're working on a lot of really fun things at the Journey to Purpose. One of them being a whole workshop just meant for workplaces. It's called
Mhm.
Bringing the Journey to Work, enrolling employees and bringing joy to the workplace. So if there's ever a situation where it's like, I think we could use more joy at our workplace, please feel free to send me a message and visit the site, ericalasan.com/speaker. But aside from that, I would love to invite you all to just take the Joy Gems Superpower Quiz. Like, the insights, I believe, are invaluable. They are things that you can implement immediately to help you maximize your joy in this very season and help you leverage it to create more time, energy, and space for yourself to rediscover joy in your life. One feel good thing at a
I love
time.
it. I love it. So good. And I'm interested. I would love for you guys to take the Joy Gem quiz and come back and tell me what it is in the comments here tomorrow, or later tonight, tomorrow, whatever. And I'm going to come check. I'm very interested. I'm like that though. Like I'm nosy.
Yeah. Oh, listen, it's not just that you're not nosy, you're just curious and you care about people.
That is it is because and I feel like these little quizzes and things sometimes give us an opportunity to connect with people further when there's so many opportunities for misunderstanding. I want to take the opportunity to understand and to dig a little bit deeper. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you putting it out there.
Oh my goodness. That was the whole intention. And some of the joy gem types, like they connect very well. Like you have a
Yeah.
counter joy gem type. So I love that you invite people to do that because I hope that it's more fruitful than, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I have to know all the things. Well, I'm so glad that you got to come on, Erica, and your light shines brightly. And I'm thankful for the work that you do in the world. And thank you for being my sister in joy.
Yes, Joy Sisters forever. And thank you for having me. This was so much fun. What a wonderful way to start the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime, my friend. So we're going to take a quick break, you guys. Thank you, Erica, for being here. And we'll be right back to do birthdays and finish up the show. We'll be back in just a minute.
Imagine a world where every child gets a great education. Educating all children is the only way to end poverty. This is what the Weiss Scholarship Foundation is working to accomplish. Our 6 staff members, our mentors and coordinators, who are on the ground in Kenya, are totally engaged in every aspect of our students' lives, so we can give them every opportunity for success. In just a few short years, we have already awarded 141 scholarships. We send children to high school who would have never gone without our support. And then we help them go on to either university or vocational school. We have already scaled our holistic business model to 4 locations and are ready to scale it to many more. Today it's Kenya, but tomorrow it's more countries. Please contribute what you can today. You can make a one-time donation, a recurring donation, or choose to sponsor a child all on your own for all 4 years of high school for just $3,500. Go to our website, www.weissscholarshipfoundation.org.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. That was We Shall Stand for Love, or the For Love poem by Dorothy Auger. I just want to give a quick shout out to Dorothy because as many of you know, I join some of the other people from around the world every morning real early in the morning. And we read the For Love poem together in our respective languages. And this morning we had 4 languages represented at the exact same time, and it's always such a deep and moving experience, and really just crosses boundaries and crosses borders and crosses language barriers, and it's just such a beautiful experience. So I just want to thank Dorothy for the poem, for your friendship, and for standing for love and bringing that movement across the world. And thank you, Mandy, for standing for love with us this morning as well. Also, you saw the commercial for the Weiss Scholarship Foundation. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is their virtual fundraiser. I put the link down in the comments for you guys. It's a bit.ly link. Click that link and go join their virtual fundraiser. They're doing silent auctions. I won something last year when they did it. It was a lot of fun. And you learn about the organization and also how people are benefiting from it around the world. So it's a really great organization and experience. And thank you, Brett Weiss, for allowing us to talk about that here on the show. So that's what they have going on tomorrow. We have to get to our birthdays really quick here today. It is always a good day for birthdays and having a good time with that. I'm trying to find my stuff here. I'm all over the place, but here we go. So today in the celebrity world, Jimmy Fallon has a birthday today, a fellow talk show host. Happy birthday, Jimmy Fallon. Country singer Trisha Yearwood has a birthday today. Jeremy Irons, actor, has a birthday today. He played the voice of Scar in Lion King, as well, among many other things. Model Twiggy has a birthday today. The celebrities in my life, I just want to, there's one birthday today, and then there was a couple over the weekend, so I want to talk about those as well. Jenny Hunt has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Jenny. Laura Weldon has a birthday today, or this past weekend. Happy birthday to you. Henry Beckford, that I went to school with. It's been so fun. Ran into Henry down at the Walmart over here when I came home. It was really nice to see you, Henry, and wishing you an amazing birthday, even though it was this weekend. And Mike Harvey, that I also went to school with, had a birthday this past weekend as well. So happy birthday to all of you that are celebrating. Let us get our drum roll on here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy Fallon, Trisha Yearwood, Jeremy Irons, Twiggy, Jenny Hunt, Laura Weldon, Henry Beckford, and Mike Harvey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everybody that's celebrating today and that celebrated over the weekend. I try to sing. Sometimes it's a little rough in the morning. I've just woken up and, the pipes haven't been ready yet, but we try over here. So wishing an amazing day to everybody that's celebrating. And no matter what you're celebrating, whether it's a birthday or anything that you're celebrating today, I want to send you all the good vibes. Like I said, starting out the show, there's a lot of people that I know that have big things going on and kind of bubbling under the surface that I know. And so I want to send everybody good, calm vibes this week. And kind of my message that I'm going forth with is just resting in that. What will be, what we know is going to be true, and who we are, resting in that. We got a beautiful message from Erica about that today as well. I want to encourage you, don't forget to go visit her website. I'm going to put it down the bottom one more time for you, ericalasan.com. Go check that out. Take the Joy Gem quiz. I want to know what Joy Gem you are. I feel like this is like Care Bear. Like we can all be, every time I hear Joy Gems, I see the Care Bears line up in my head. We can all be Care Bears together. I want to know which Care Bear you are. Tell me what your Joy Gem is. Come back and leave it in the comments here on any of our streams, and I will find it. And I'm just interested. I'm interested. Like she said, not nosy, I'm curious. It's what it is. I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing rest of your day. We're going to be talking about a little bit about that brokenness that I mentioned tomorrow on the show. And so I would love for you to chime in on that. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.